Assalamu alaikum girls. Today we want to do a recap of all the tasks that we have covered in word processing. You can see I have a file in front of me, n216briefing.rtf. This is the file that we are going to practice all the tasks on, and the questions are over here for us. The first question says load the file n216briefing.rtf. That just means you have to open your file, and we've already done that. Question 2, set the page size to A4. Page size is available in the layout tab. Go to the layout tab, click on size and change the page size to A4. Question number 3, set the page orientation to portrait. Page orientation is again available in the layout tab. You just have to change the orientation to portrait. Question 4, set the margins top and bottom to 2 cm, left and right to 1.5 cm. As you can see, this question specifies that you have to use centimeters and not inches. Top and bottom 2, left and right 1.5. Margins are again in the layout tab. We go to margins and always choose the option custom margins from the bottom. Once we choose that, the page setup dialog box appears, which has the option to edit all the 4 margins: top, bottom, left and right. The question says top and bottom needs to be 2 cm, left and right 1.5 cm. So we are going to edit that here, top and bottom to be 2 cm. Why we write cm? Because we want centimeters. If you don't write anything, automatically it will be in inches. So we write 1.5 cm. Click on OK. You can see suddenly the margins of the page has changed. If you go back here again, you will see slightly different numbers than what we typed before, because Word automatically saves everything in inches. So don't think that this is a mistake. 0.79 inches is already 2 cm converted to inches when you have done the saving. The next question says you have to save the file with a new name as n216briefing _ your name _ class. The way to do this is to go to file and save as, and then you have to change the name of the document as it is mentioned in the question. Once you've done that and saved your document, that question is done. The next one says you have to place in the header the text Tawara Health Club on the left and automated page numbers on the right. To open the header, we have to now change our tab. We go to the Insert tab. In the Insert tab, there is option to enter header and footer. We will choose the header here. Under header and footer, always we choose the blank 3 columns option. Click on that and 3 columns of space will appear. We need to write Tawara Health Club on the left and automated page numbers on the right. What you need to type on the left, you can just type it in. And on the right, we want page numbers. But we cannot write a page number such as 1 or 2, because then this 1 will appear in every page. As you can see, it comes here. But we want the page numbers to be automatic. The way to do this is to keep your cursor in the correct position where you want the page number, and then automatically you are in a new tab called Header and Footer tab. This tab appears only when you are inside the header or footer. As you can see, when I click out of it, that tab is not there here anymore. Once you are inside the header and footer tab and your cursor is at the correct location, go to page number. Under page number, the option we always use is current position. Choose current position plain number. That will put the number here for you automatically. As you can see, now page number 2 says 2 and page number 1 says 1. We don't have anything else to write in the header, so we can get rid of this placeholder in the middle. So that's the header done. Question 7 says in the footer we need the name of the class on the center and your name on the right side. Class name in the center. So again, we go to the Insert tab, which has the header and footer. We choose footer this time and go for blank 3 columns option. The data we need to put is the class on the center and name on the right. So these can be just typed in, as these are data that remain the same everywhere. We are not using the placeholder on the left side, so we can backspace and get rid of it. The next question, question number 8, says you have to make all the text in both the header and the footer to be serif, 10 point and italic. As you know, serif and sans serif are types of fonts and not the names of actual fonts. So you do not have to come here and select your text and go to home and type serif over here. This will not mean anything. Serif is any font that has sharp edges. So Cambria is an example, Times New Roman is an example, and so on. I'm going with Times New Roman today. I want serif, 10 point and italic. I'm going to change the font size to 10, change the text to be italic as well. This needs to be done on both the header and the footer as mentioned in the question. Select your text, change to the same sans serif font as the question said, 10 point and italic. Once you are done with that, question 8 has been completed. Question 9 wants to make sure that the header and footer are displayed on every page. So you can go out back to your document and make sure the header and the footer are both coming on every single page. Question 10 asks you to insert a blank line at the start of the document and enter the title New Staff Induction. So this is a title of the whole document and clearly you have to make space to enter it here. That's why the question says to enter a blank line. I'm just clicking enter on my keyboard and writing the title as shown here, New Staff Induction. Once you are done entering that, the question 11 says to format it with a sans serif font. A sans serif font is a font without the sharp tick marks at the end. It needs to be 32 points high, left aligned and bold as well. Let's find a sans serif font for the title. Any font without a sharp edge. So Calibri is an example, Arial is an example, and so on. 32 points, left and bold. We're going to make it 32 points, left aligned and bold. Once you are done with that, go to question 12 where it asks you to enter a subtitle below the title called Report Prepared By and add your name. You're just going to make a new line here by clicking on enter from the keyboard and write Report Prepared By and enter your name. Take care of spellings while you do any data entry. Then the rest of the subtitle needs to be formatted again with a sans serif font, 16 point, right aligned and italic. 16 point, right aligned, italic, and already it was a sans serif font. Once you are done with that, we are moving to question 14 where it says that all the rest of the body of the document needs to be a serif font, 11 point, justified, 12 point space after each paragraph. Let's break this question down and do the first bit first. To format the document body as a serif font. Again, a serif is not a type of a font, it's a type of a font and it's not a font name itself. So serif, we can go for, make sure you're selecting just the body and not anything else. Go to any font that is serif. So for example, Times New Roman. Make it 11 points big. So you make it 11. The question says make it justified. Justify is a type of alignment, left, center, right, justify. So click on justify and 12 point space after each paragraph. This stands for paragraph spacing, and is it before or after? It's after. To get paragraph spacing, we are going to come to the paragraph group in the home tab and click on the small arrow here. This brings up the paragraph dialog box, which has an option for line spacing and paragraph spacing. This particular question is asking us to edit the paragraph spacing, and that's over here. The paragraph spacing has two options, before and after. According to this question, we needed to change the after spacing to be 12 points high. So this 0, you're going to change it to 12, click on OK, and that is done. The question 15 is asking us to go to the text after the second paragraph, which ends in this sentence, ... complete with your line manager. Let's find that first. This is the second paragraph, and this is the sentence that ends with complete with your line manager. What do we need to do? All of the text after this needs to be formatted into 2 columns, equal width and 1 centimeter gap in between. So what we are going to do, we are not going to select all the text. Instead, we are only going to select this bit that we need to, and this part, which is after the paragraph that they mentioned, this needs to be made into 2 columns. Where do we get columns? Again, in the layout tab. In the layout tab, come down to columns, don't choose from here, go to more columns option. In more columns, you can set it as the question is asking you to, which is 2 columns with 1 centimeter gap. Choose 2 columns and make the spacing as 1 cm. Again, when you want centimeter, make sure to write cm, click on OK. If you go back here, you will see that this number has changed. That's because Word has automatically converted it into inches, but what you have done is correct. Once you are done with that, now identify all the 9 subheadings and format them to be sans serif, 16 point, right aligned and italic. Let's look at what a subheading will look like. There are 9 subheadings in this document, starting with this one. Each of them need to have the same formatting, which is any sans serif font. So we can go for anything without a tick mark. An example would be Calibri. It needs to also be 16 point, right aligned and italic. 16 points, right aligned and italic. Once you've done this for one subheading, you need to go down and find all the other subheadings and do the same. 16 points, right aligned and italic. Once you do this for all the 9 subheadings, you are done with this question, and that's the end of this task.